My name was Alicia Grant, a woman at whose single gesture an army of servants would line up in perfect order. And today, that same Alicia was standing in filthy water and mud of a run-down slum, screaming at a helpless mother. I didn't know then that the diamond ring I was accusing an innocent woman of stealing would one day tear my very soul apart. I never imagined the wheel of karma would spin so fast that while the scent of my expensive perfume still lingered in the air, my entire world would turn to ash. My life had always felt like a dream-like movie scene. We lived in one of the most elite neighborhoods of the city. Our white mansion-like house stood as a testimony to our status even from afar. God has blessed me with beauty, and Daniel Grant, my husband, had wrapped that beauty in such layer of wealth that even while walking on solid ground, I felt as if I were stepping on clouds. Daniel was a powerful business tycoon, one of the top names among the city's elite entrepreneurs. He loved me passionately, every whim of mine, every tantrum was indulged without question. Yet there was one thing that often saddened him: my attitude. I had never considered poor people as human beings. For me, wealth was the only scale by which a person's worth could be measured. The employees working in our house were nothing more than machines, made only to follow orders. A single mistake from them would make me humiliate them mercilessly. I believed they were meant to be treated harshly because kindness in my eyes only made them arrogant. Daniel would often try to reason with me. Alicia, this wealth is a blessing from God. Don't be arrogant. These workers are human beings like us. They have emotions too. But I would laugh it off or slam the bedroom door in anger. There was an elderly housemaid named Subaria who had worked in our home for years. She was a quiet, aging woman with a tired soul, incredibly hardworking and honest. But for a reason I could never explain, her every presence irritated me. She wore old but clean clothes. Whenever she entered my room to clean, I felt as if the stench of poverty clung to her existence, polluting the fragrance of my expensive French perfumes. I would deliberately drop something on the freshly cleaned floor and scold her for doing a poor job. She would silently lower her head and clean again. Her silence only fueled my cruelty. Zubaria had a little daughter, Nora, who was often sick. Sometimes Zubaria looked unusually worried while working. If Daniel asked, she would say her daughter had a fever. Daniel would often give her extra money. But whenever I found out, I would create a scene. These people are professional beggars, I insisted. They make excuse to squeeze money out of the rich. That cursed morning was no different. I was sitting on my luxurious bed, scrolling through a new international fashion collection on my iPad, busy online shopping. The air conditioning made the room perfectly cool. I wore a silk robe, enjoying my peaceful, privileged life. A soft knock sounded on the door. Zubaria entered. She looked worse than usual, her eyes swollen, her face ached with pain. She walked unsteadily toward my bed and suddenly collapsed to the floor, clutching my feet. The moment her cold, rough hands touched me, a wave of disgust ran through my body. I yanked my feet back angrily. "How dare you touch me?" I shouted. She began sobbing uncontrollably. "Ma'am, please, for God's sake, help me. My daughter Nora is very sick. The doctor says it's viral meningitis. If she doesn't get expensive medicines by tonight, she won't survive. I have nothing. Please give me my salary in advance. I swear I won't ask for anything next month. Please save my child." Her voice carried a pain strong enough to shake walls, but the ice of arrogance around my heart didn't melt. All I could see was my silk robe stained by her tears. Enough with these daily dramas, I said coldly. You just got paid yesterday. Where did that money go? Ma'am, she cried. It went to old medical debts. There's not even floor in my house. Please just give me $200. I'll be your slave forever. I looked at her with contempt. My drawer held thousands of dollars. My purse carried $2,000 cash I had set aside to buy a new perfume. But I lied without hesitation. I don't have cash right now, and I'm not going to the bank for your fake stories. Get out and don't ruin my mood. She begged again. I shouted for security. Throw her out right now. She was dragged out crying, empty handed. I sprayed perfume, grabbed my car keys, and left, unaware that the $200 I had refused without become the first stone in the collapse of my multi-million-dollar empire. I drove straight to a luxury mall and bought a perfume worth 25,000 without blinking while a mother begged for her child's life for one-fifth of that amount. That evening, while getting ready for a high-profile party, I opened my jewelry box. My heart stopped. My diamond ring was missing. Panic set in. That ring wasn't just jewelry. It was Daniel's most precious gift, worth hundreds of thousands. Then a thought struck me like lightning. Suberia had been in my room that morning. I was convinced she had stolen it. Fueled by rage, I called Daniel, accused Zuberia, and called the police despite his objections. We drove to the slums. Police raided her small shack. Inside, Suberia was cooling her burning child with damp clothes. Nora was delirious with fever. The house had nothing, no food, no hiding place, no ring. Yet I ordered the police to arrest her anyway. As they dragged her away, she screamed, "My child is alone, she will die." My heart remained stone cold. On the way back, a homeless old woman knocked on my car window. I showed her away angrily. Before leaving, she looked into my eyes and said, "Don't rush back to your mansion, daughter. Your peace has already been buried there." I brushed it off, but when I reached home, Daniel was sitting on the floor, devastated. "Our warehouse burned down," he said. "Millions lost. Insurance expired last week. Investors pulled out. Bank accounts frozen. We were ruined." As he spoke, he picked up my shopping bag. The perfume fell out. And so did the diamond ring. It had been in my bag all along. Reality shattered me. Zubaria was innocent, and her child was dying, while her mother sat in jail. That night became my awakening. I rushed to the hospital. I begged. I paid. I cried. By God's mercy, Nora survived. Daniel didn't divorce me, but he warned me. If that child had died, I could never live without you again. Year passed. We lost the mansion. We moved to a small apartment. I cooked, cleaned, and lived simply. Zubaria became family, not a servant. Daniel rebuilt his business, this time with honesty and humility. I started a women's empowerment center with Zubaria. One night, at an award ceremony, Daniel said on stage, "My success isn't because of business deals, but because of my wife lost everything and found her humanity." That ring still lies on my dresser, not as a symbol of wealth, but as a gravestone of my arrogance. Goodbye until the next story. Like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thanks.